Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to our vlog series, Your Sixth Sense, the Clairs. This is such a juicy topic. Clear seeing, clear listening, clear knowing, clear feeling. And today we're going to talk about claircognizance, which is clear knowing. It is so juicy, and I have these gifts and you have these gifts. They are a way for us to communicate to each other, sometimes, most of the time, without saying a word. And in my book, The Empath Leader, chapter 6 and 7 covers these with great details. And in the training, The Empath Leader, I just love this module when I talk about the clairs, because everyone is surprised. Everyone is surprised when they know the clairs. But before we continue, make sure that you just go blink, that you subscribe, blink, so that we can let YouTube know and the platform know that you like this content. So go ahead, look how easy it is. Boop. Okay, so let's get right into it. Claircognizance, the gift of clear knowing. This is when an answer drops into your awareness and it's fully formed. Don't know how you know. You just know that you know. Claircognizance literally means clear know. It's intuitive, it's intelligent, and it bypasses logic, education, and it arrives in a way that feels certain. You know that you know that you know. You might feel it as chills or goosebumps. I know that that happens to me in session a lot when I'm talking to someone or I'm proposing a thought or proposing an intervention. If I get flooded with goosebumps, or even when my client is talking to me and what they're saying just drops. In Spanish, we say me cae el cinco. It's like the penny drops. So it shows up in chills and goosebumps, a gut drop, or there's a sudden sense of this is the way. And it feels peaceful. There's not a lot of chaos or noise around. Speaking of chaos, I just dropped a podcast on my Heaven on Earth podcast. It's called From Chaos to Calm. Check it out. And again, like, subscribe, comment. Remember, that engagement is activism. So let's get back to claircognizance. Sometimes, and a lot of the time, it might come to you while you're in motion. You're walking, showering, driving. In my case, it happens very often, almost 100% when I'm engaging with people, whether it's with my Wealth from Within group, whether it's with a client. Sometimes when I'm listening to someone, I can actually feel the knowingness descend upon me. And it's because your mind is relaxed enough, believe it or not, that's a quiet mind, to let what some folks call the download, the hit, the intuitive hit come through. Yeah, you do this too. It's not for others, it's for you. So let's talk about some everyday examples, because I do like to make it accessible to you when people think of these types of gifts, because they are psychic gifts. They think of it for folks who are all the way out there, for people who read the future or people who read minds, and that does exist. But we're talking about everything that I do brings all of those big concepts to the day-to-day life that you live in. So you've probably had moments like these. Parent knows that something is going on with their kid before the teacher calls, before they get back from the party, even as they're asleep. They have a knowingness. A strategist can see the answer to a complicated campaign without needing more data. And sometimes they even might be pulled in as a consultant. Has this happened to you, that you're pulled in as a consultant, and as people are describing the situation, you have a knowing about it? In fact, you might have a knowing where the exact issue is without getting more data. Remember, it's not because of logic or of education that these hits happen. Sometimes it might look like that you get this sort of weird feeling like, I'm going to take a different route home today. And later you find out there was a huge accident on that. This is a very, very popular one. A friend pops into your mind, and you later discover that they were needing support, or that maybe their parent passed. Sometimes that they've left in some way. This is clarity. And it's clarity across space and time. I always talk about receiving the downloads in dreams of my endeavors, like dynamic meditation method, the Empath Leader training, all came to me in a dream. And so when I woke up, I knew that was the path to take. Sometimes it might show up in a knowingness about someone, even someone you might know for years, where you've decided, not through data, but through this knowing sense, that your friendship won't continue, or that your friendship will start now. This is the type of person that you just know by saying 2 or 3 words to them. You know that this might be a soul match for you. So what's the gift? Claircognizance is the gift of leadership and innovation. That's why I teach the Clairs in the Empath Leader training and write about it in the book. History's breakthroughs, if you really learn about them, came when someone who just knew, even though many people might have been against their innovation, flying a plane, for example, building a plane, believing in electricity. There's so many ways that innovations felt defiant to the collective, to the zeitgeist of the time. And yet that person knew, they had to do what was inside of them. And this happens before science catches up or the trend begins. The key here is practice. And this is why I want to put these clairs into your hands, because you can practice at them. Write down when you get a sense of knowingness before you dismiss it. The dynamic meditation method came to me before it was trendy or cool to meditate, to talk about trauma, all of that, before it was like what it is today, that it's so out in the collective. And I went with it. Notice what your body says when you feel that sensation of knowing. Some people even say that about meeting a spouse. They were like, how did you know? And you've heard it many times. I just knew. Combine, pair intuition with action, with grounded action, so that you can build trust in your clairs, in your clarity over time. So you would write something like, I knew, I did an action, and it worked. The other way to track it, that I talk about it relationally, or when I talk about it when it comes to the narcissist, is I want you to write down the ways that you knew things, the ways that you saw red flags. You bypassed them for sure, but I still want you in your journal, your PhD on Me journal, write down the moments that you knew something. Let's say, even if it was a project that you knew would work, and even if you didn't go with it, write it down. Write down that you saw it happening. Even if someone else did it, you knew that you had felt that knowing. The idea here is to build trust over time in your clair. And this doesn't mean that you're going to have all the answers. What it does mean is that you respect the ones that happen to you. And remember, this doesn't mean it's going to happen to everyone around you. You're just going to start believing and trusting in your own knowing. It actually is a pathway to sovereignty. And this is where you become a leader. Even if you're not leading others, you begin to self-lead. You say, I know. And I trust that I know. Even when others are saying that it's not true. This is important with the narcissist, because then you can see through the illusions. You can see through the gaslighting. You can see through the ways that they're demeaning you. You know that you know that you know. So claircognizance is your inner compass. Straight up. In confusing times, times, in confusing moments, in confusing relationships. It's often the only thing pointing you towards your north, your truth, your North Star. That's the importance of tracking the ways that you've been right on target. Again, I explore this deeply in chapter 6 and 7 of the Empath Leader book. So go ahead, go to Amazon, find the Empath Leader, Transforming Humanity's Algorithm. And if you feel so called, please write a review. We really want this out there, especially now, with the zeitgeist being the way that it is, with the collective feeling confused. And if more people knew about their clairs, imagine where we'd be headed. There's still time. And remember, engagement is activism. So please like, share, write a comment, and subscribe. Plus, it motivates me. I love putting content out, but I super love it when you are in relationship with me. Let's blow a kiss to those algorithms so that more people can activate their inner technology. Join me for the next Claire, which is Clairaudience, the gift of hearing the unspoken.